Hello folks, you'll be thinking, oh no, another of them boring videos about wood screws. Well actually, you're wrong, it's not. It is a boring video, probably, to most people, but it ain't about wood screws. Although I might have a little chat about wood screws because they're quite nice, especially these traditional ones. What it's about today is screwdrivers, but not this sort of screwdriver. A different sort of screwdriver altogether. If you've watched any of my other videos, particularly the one about the ELU router repair, it's not a router, it's a router. I always call it a router for some reason, I don't know why. It's spelt the same, but I've never got used to it. A modern internet device called I can't get it right, router. This is a router I was talking about. Anyway, that's nothing to do with it, so I don't know why I'm talking about it. So I cancel all that I've said and we'll start again. The other day I was making a video about repairing a router, and whilst I was doing it I started on about a program I watched on the television a few days earlier called The Reassemblers, and it features James May of Top Gear fame, and he was bragging about this new screwdriver he'd bought that held screws, and he was enthusing about this thing and saying how fantastic it was and how he'd struggled to find one. He'd seen somebody else using one, and he eventually managed to track one down via eBay, and it came from America and it cost him quite a lot of money. And I thought, well, I'd do a thing about it because I happen to have some of those myself, and here's one here. I'll just move these screws out of the way. I hope you can see this. This is the first type, and you'll notice what happens is it's got a little tube on here. Actually, I can take this right off if you want to see it, and you'll see the blade is actually in two parts. Now what you do when you put that on, that normally stays on there like that, and it's really useful because what you can do, if you get your screw, you pop the screwdriver in like that and you push this little sleeve up tight, and it presses these two blades together, and as you can see it holds the screw very nicely so that you can insert it in awkward places without having to hold it, and it's quite strong. It's a brilliant little tool. I've had this one for quite a long time. I can't even remember where it came from. I didn't buy it. I obtained it somewhere, like, you know, people give me stuff that when they're sorting out their granddad's workshop or their dad's workshop, because people don't want the stuff today, throw it away, and this was one such thing, and I grabbed it straight away and I knew what it was, and I think it's a brilliant tool. So that's one type, and I believe that's the type that James May had, only his was probably a modern one, probably not as good as this. It's probably cheap plastic. You can see this is a quality one made by Quick Wedge of Salt Lake. Probably America, I think that is. That's the first one. That isn't the first one I had, but that's probably one of the best ones. I've got another one here. I've had this one since my days mending radios back, well, donkey's years ago. I'm not going to say exactly when because you'll know I'm pretty old then. This is a similar principle to the last one. I can't really show it very closely, but it's got a sort of a split in the blade with a little piece that comes out, and when you put it in a screw, what you do, instead of sliding the thing along, you just push on the handle and it forces the two apart, and it does the same thing. It's probably better for smaller screws than the other one, but as you can see it holds the screw quite adequately if you've got it square, and all it does, the advantage over the other one is you don't have to move anything, you just push it in the screw. It's spring loaded in there and it brings that little peg out and locks it on the screw. I hope this is going to be visible on the camera because it's quite close like that. Now you'll notice the handle's a bit, this is not the original handle. I put this on donkey's years ago. It's got a little chuck on there, and I think the original handle broke and I stuck it in there, and it's been like that for a long time, and it's very, very useful. So that's the second type. There is, however, a third type which I have, which I don't find as good. These were made a long time ago, but not as long as these other ones. As you can see, it's got a spring loaded, you can see the spring inside the handle there, a spring-loaded tube, plastic tube, which moves up and down. And the idea of this one is, the blade's inside, you can actually take that right off if you want. It's sort of pushed in, but you can take it off. What you can do with this one, I'll take the brass screw, you pop it, there's a little fork piece on the top, I don't know if you can see that, little fork piece, and then you pull this sleeve back. This one's a bit tight because I don't use it much. You pop your screw in there, and then the spring-loaded part, it pushes it forward. Well, it's supposed to, but as I said, this one's a bit tight. It won't go now. So always the same when you're trying to do, that's it, pulling it back, not pushing it forward. Get it right, man. Now you can see, now that holds the screw really firmly and it can't come out because it's got this little shield round it. And the idea is you screw the screw in and then you push this forward to release it. But the trouble is with it, I found with this, the end is very bulky and it won't go into awkward little slots. It's a lot more cumbersome than this. I think this is probably the best one. But it does the job. And actually I can remember buying these. In our shop we actually sold them for a short while. And I used to have 3 different sizes, but I think the other 2 broke. The thing that goes with them, this plastic fork piece on the end here tends to snap off, and then it's useless. But what you can do is just pull that right off and just use it as a normal screwdriver. So I don't know whether the others. I had a set. There was a medium one and a very small one. But however, very useful they are. But if you don't have a screwdriver like this, a screw retention screwdriver, I don't know what the correct name is, but we'll call them that for now, and you want to do the same thing, I'll take those out of the way, you can use a normal screwdriver like that. There's a good old-fashioned screwdriver made by Rabone Chester and that. Would you believe it? Both of those were thrown away. A friend of mine gave them to me. He was taking them up the tip in a box of stuff that it was his father's, I believe, and a usual old story. A lot of people today are not interested in woodwork and tools and things, and he had boxes of old tools and stuff that were going up the tip, and those were 2, and I thought they're lovely. I clean them up and I get great pleasure using them because they're much nicer than modern tools. Anyway, what I was saying was, I digress again, if you want a way of holding a screw and you haven't got one of those, just use something like that. That's just a lump of plasticine. I always have a bit of this stuck in my toolbox because if I haven't got one of those with me, all you've got to do is get a bit of plasticine, stuff it in the end of the screw like that. I've used this method for years and years and it always works, and then just, probably won't work now I'm doing it on the camera. That's quite a big screw to use for that. There you go. And it does exactly the same thing really. Almost works like a magnetic screwdriver, which wouldn't work with that because it's a brass screw, by the way, but you see the point. I'm going to try it with the smaller screw. It's a lot more, it doesn't look very effective that way. Just pop it in there, or you can put it on the screwdriver, and then you just force the screwdriver into the, I don't think that's got a very good head. I'm not doing very well at this, am I? Just pop it in there, and again it holds the screw just long enough to fit it in place and screw it up. You don't have to use plasticine, obviously. If you haven't got plasticine, there's a number of other things you can use. You can use Blue Tack, for example. That will do the same job. The thing I used to use a lot, we used to use when I was in the radio and that, the old capacitors and things, condensers, they used to be waxy, and the wax used to leak out at the end, and they were quite prized for doing this. We always had an old capacitor on the bench with the wax leaking out, and used to rub that on the end of the condenser and get a bit of wax and stick it in the screw, and that was the time-honoured method of doing it. Anyway, that's about it, I suppose. That's a bit short. I'll make a change because it takes me ages to upload the long ones. Before I go, just say a thing about the wood screws. I knew you were waiting for this because you really wanted to know about them, didn't you? Interesting thing. Well, interesting to some people. I'm interested. These, I've got it upside down, haven't I? Because I've got the camera the wrong way around. These screws come from the Lainsbury's factory at Kingham in Oxfordshire. You can see they're Nettlefold, original Nettlefolds made in England. Why I'm talking about them is, Lainsbury's used to buy these in bulk to make their elevators, and they stopped making elevators after the Second World War in about 1950, I would imagine. So these screws are going to be at least 67 years old. At least. It could be even older because they may have had them in stock for all I know. But what I was going to say was, have a look at them. I'm going to open the box up. I've got loads of these. These were going in the skip, by the way. And again, my late uncle, he hated to see things thrown away. And when they closed the factory down at Lainsbury's, he saw all these things in the skip and he couldn't bear it. So he put them in a wheelbarrow and took them home. And I've got cupboards full of them now. It's a great shame. They're odd sizes, that's the trouble. 1 3/4 12s, you don't get much core for. But when you do, they're ideal. I'm going on again, aren't I? I'm just going to show you inside this little box. Now, look at that. Now, why I mentioned it is, not so much, I mean, okay, they're wood screws, I know that, and for most people it's boring. But just have a look at them. Look at the shine on them. Those screws have been in that box in damp conditions and God knows where. It was in my uncle's shed for 30 years, and they were in Lainsbury's factory for over 30 years before that. They've been in my damp workshop as well, and they're as pristine and clean and shiny as if they'd been made yesterday. Look, and these are quality screws. They're not like these things you buy today that come from China where the heads are all misshapen and lopsided and they break off. They're real quality, but I'm amazed at how nice and shiny they are. And I've got boxes of these, different sizes, but sadly, they're all odd sizes. Really strange ones, like 3-inch 6s and inch and 7/8 14s and things like that, because they were used in elevators and stuff. But they're too nice to throw away, and they would have gone in the skip if I hadn't had them. So there you go. Okay, it might be a bit boring, but I quite like it anyway, so it's no harm done, is it? Anyway, thanks for watching. I know, perhaps I'll have something more interesting for you next time. Bye for now. Goodbye.